Welcome to First National Bank's Coach's Corner with Tony Tone and Muscatine High School football coach Jake Muller. Listen online at vintage931.com or on your smartphone with the free Vintage Sound app. Let's start the show.
And away we go, 9:33. Thursday morning at Vintage Sound, 93.1 FM. Muskie Football, last regular season game tomorrow night. It's also senior night as the Muskies host Iowa City High. And it's an important game, like all these games are, as we get ready for district playoffs, which kick off next Wednesday. Muskie head football coach Jake Muller, what's up, buddy?
Not a whole lot. Well, kind of a lot, but things are going well.
You had a baby the other day.
We did, yeah.
And that is, describe how your life has changed since Sunday. Ready, go.
Well, it's been a whirlwind. You know, a lot of people tell you a lot of things, and it doesn't really, you take it in, you think you understand, but until you have that happen, you really don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been awesome. We've got a new daughter, and she's healthy, and my wife's healthy, and so that's great. And haven't been getting a ton of sleep and been changing diapers and feeding and doing all that stuff, but it's awesome.
It's such a life-changing event, and you just think of, like, for me, what's funny is trying to go to do anything and getting two kids ready. Like, I'm going to go to the car wash this afternoon, and it's like herding cats.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you're not at that point yet.
Not quite yet.
You could set the baby down. She takes a nap. You can go take a shower, whatever. She's not going anywhere. A few months, all of a sudden, you're in the shower, and the curtain opens, and you're like, hey. Like, that was yesterday. That was my 10-month-old.
Uh-huh.
I was in the shower, and I could hear the curtain, and I'm like, whatever. And then I look over, and I'm like, hey, buddy. And he's like, and I'm like, great. This is either going to scar him for life or... Like, I don't know what to do. It is so much fun, but yeah, I mean, you're in it right now.
Yeah.
It goes by super fast, which is weird to think. Like, you just had her Emery, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you just had baby Emery Sunday, and now she's almost a week old.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's getting close. Yeah.
How fast are you at changing diapers?
Not very fast.
Okay.
No,
it's tough.
Yeah, I got some work to do with that.
It's tough, but she's a good-sized baby, so that's good.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, because, sometimes people have babies that are a little small, and, you're like, oh, my gosh, I don't even know how to hold this baby. Mm-hmm. I had big kids.
Yeah.
And by the second one, you're just, like, throwing them behind the back and whatever. Change a diaper and, like, reply to a text at the same time. So you'll get there. I'll give you some pointers on that. Maybe do a little practice diaper change.
Okay.
And then you get to have the fun diapers where you're like, I don't even know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how you got that there. That's my favorite of this. Because my oldest is potty trained, and then I got this 10-month-old, and it's a blast.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a new Muskie fan, right?
Yeah.
How much Muskie apparel does she have already?
Honestly, she doesn't have a ton quite yet.
Okay.
Maybe just one or two, I think.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you get like a purple hat for her to go home in?
Got a purple hat.
Nice. That's crucial.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a busy couple days.
Yeah, it's really busy.
Right? So you had a tough game on last Friday in Cedar Rapids.
Yeah.
That was a tough second half, but I'm sure that a lot was taken away.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a lot to learn from it.
Yeah.
It was a tough loss. We didn't really feel like we competed very well, obviously, in the second half. It was disappointing. You go to halftime with 41-21, you're up that much. You expect to finish the half and walk away with the win, but unfortunately we didn't do it. That's why you play the game, and you have to go out and execute. And we didn't do a very good job of executing or competing in the second half, and you don't do that. They're a good team. I knew that all week long. I've been telling the kids all week long that they're a very good team, and they were, and they came out. And to Prairie's credit, they kept playing and battled back and came away with a win. So a lot of things we can do to learn from it, but we better learn quickly.
You've been coaching for a long time, and I'm not going to assume that this was you had a lot of injuries in this game.
We did.
Coming into it, and then so that had to be a challenge, right? I mean, obviously you have kids that are ready to go.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, it's like, we got to get a break here.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
We should have figured out a way to win the game.
Sure.
Regardless. But, going into it, we were down 3 starters going into the game, and then lost 2 during the game, and 2 pretty key players for us. And it is the next guy up, but it also, just for example, when Jackson went in for Luke at quarterback, well, Jackson's also a linebacker for us. So then do you not play him on defense? Do you play him on defense? And then he's an outside linebacker. So then one of our other outside linebackers, Kovac, wasn't in the game already. Just there's a lot of things you got to think about, and I wish we would have handled it better than what we did. But some kids stepped up and did a really good job, and so that was nice to see. When guys got an opportunity, some guys stepped up and did a good job. But overall, as a team, we just did not compete very well, especially in the second half. We knew all week long what they're going to do as far as their offense goes. And, it's frustrating as a coach when you know exactly what they're going to do and you can't figure out a way to stop them. It just comes down to, we got to make plays when the opportunity arises. And fortunately, we didn't do that. And, offensively, I felt like, we lost our momentum there in the second half. Not having Alfonso and Luke in the second half. We've got enough good players that we should have been able to figure out a way to put points on the board, and we didn't. So, that's a total team loss from coaches, players, everybody. We didn't get the job done. So, you take that lesson, you move on, and you're trying to get a win on the next game.
There's a lot to manage for sure for you guys. And speaking of the next game tomorrow night against City High, we're going to come back and talk all about it. We got to take a quick break. You might be playing in the rain tomorrow, as you know, but as long as there's no lightning. Could you imagine if you had to play on like Tuesday with all that lightning? I mean, it wouldn't even have happened.
No.
So let's just hope if it is going to rain, it's just that, right?
Yeah.
We definitely don't want the lightning. All right, we're coming right back. Don't touch that dial. First National Bank Coach's Corner is on the radio. Hang tight, 30 seconds.
First National Bank is proud to sponsor the On the Money program at Muscatine High School. When the volleyball, swim, basketball, and baseball teams score big, they earn money for the Muskie Boosters. Since 1997, their hard work has earned over $55,000 in donations from First National Bank. We are also proud to sponsor the Muskie Football Red Zone. Can't make it to the game? Don't miss a minute of the excitement. Tune into AM 860 or FM 95.1 to hear the games broadcast live. Go Muskies. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to First National Bank's Coach's Corner on Vintage Sound 93.1.
940 at Vintage Sound. First National Bank Coach's Corner. Tony Tone, Muskie head football coach Jake Muller. Last regular season game. Crazy. Again, I know I sound like a broken record because I say that a lot, but here we go. I mean, we're on the eve of your last regular season game. It's a home game. It's senior night. Emotions are going to be high. You factor in inclement weather, a little bit of rain, and there's a lot kind of riding on this game. So is this, I mean, with the baby and everything, there's a lot going on heading into tomorrow, and guys getting healthy and coming back. And then also, by the way, you're playing a City High team that's 3-1 in the district. It's very tough. It's had some tough fought games. Jeez Louise with these guys.
Yeah, they're a really good team.
Yeah.
They're everybody knows the tradition of City High. That's a good football school, good program. Coach Sabers does a tremendous job there, and they're talented and tough. They got a really good running back and an excellent receiver, tall, fast, lanky kid playing receiver. And their starting quarterback got injured week 1, but the kid who's come in for him has done a really, really nice job. He does not look like a backup at all. He's 6'3", 200 pounds, can throw the ball. So he's not like, he's really good.
Right.
So he's not a typical backup quarterback. He's a legitimate, really good quarterback, and their defense is fast and does a good job of getting to the football. And they always have good schemes on offense and defense, and they're tough. They're gamers, and their coaches do a great job with them. And we were going to have our hands full, but we feel confident in our team and what our kids can do, and we feel like if we play type of football we're able to play, we should come out and do a great job. So, I hope our kids seize the moment. It is a big game. There is a lot riding on it. At the end of the day, you just got to come play football and have fun.
What do you need to do right, or what's something that after the tough loss last week? Obviously, you put it behind you. You practice, But what needs to go right tomorrow? What are you feeling like, guys? We really need to tackle better, or what? What is it?
Tackle better would be a good start.
Okay, I was just throwing it out there.
Yeah, tackle better would be a good start. We did a poor job of that last week, and then just giving up big plays. That's the number one thing on defense is we've got to eliminate big plays. We let teams out of jail too often, and let for example, I think the game was tied last week, and we had Prairie 3rd and 7 from their own 3-yard line, and they take it 97 yards for a touchdown. Like things like that just can't happen. So
sure.
We got to eliminate those big plays, and City High has some kids that can make big plays, so we've got to make sure that we do a good job of getting 11 guys to the football and pursuing and tackling and taking good angles. That would be, the number one thing. And, offensive, I like to see us be more physical up front with our offensive line being able to run the ball. Those two things I think are the number one things for us to have success tomorrow.
Tackling, and I'm not saying your team does this. Certainly I haven't really identified it in the games that I've been to. But, Coach, when you watch an NFL game, and I'm not saying that high school players are easily influenced, but it seems like the art of tackling has become more like, I'm going to try and strip the ball from you, and then I'm going to tackle you second. So has that been an issue at all where you have to tell somebody, hey, look, I know you're trying to strip a ball, but you got to make the tackle first?
Yeah, I think, the NFL is not a great place to look for excellent tackling. They're
no,
looking,
it's not.
You're right. They look to try and strip the ball. They look for the big knockout hits. You don't see a ton of great form tackling at that level. So, in high school, it's tough because you only have so much time during a week to game plan and get your plays and your schemes and all your things in the game that you need to have, and also do the fundamentals that you're doing every day, your reads and your steps and all those things that you have to do. And then, with tackling, it's kind of a deal where you have to do it because it's important, but the other part of it is that you don't want to get guys injured in practice either.
Right,
so,
exactly.
We do a tackling circuit every Monday. We practice it, and, we spend about 10 to 12 minutes on it every Monday doing tackling stations. And, we emphasize everything that you're supposed to. And, at the end of the day, it comes down to kids having to it's about focus and concentration because they all physically know how to do it and can do it. Right. And, just like anything, it comes down to in the moment, can you focus and concentrate well enough to execute your job? And that's in football, it's in anything really. Yeah. And so we've got to do a better job of that. If
only ESPN had the top 10, good technique and fundamental tackle, right? That's the problem. You know what I mean? You're not seeing a top 10 play of an offensive lineman with good technique or good footwork, but that's really what it's all about.
Yeah.
And if you watch like this Hawkeye football team, they have good technique and they tackle well, and even on the high school level, you're right, that has to be a challenge because, like you said, I mean, that variable called, I want them to be able to tackle well, but I don't want somebody to get hurt, but I want them to be ready for Friday. And then, oh, man, it's tough. So, yeah, and again, they're young kids that if, you watch your favorite team on Sunday and you don't want to, again, I'm not assuming that anybody takes on a bad habit, but it is tough to stay focused, for sure. So, City High tomorrow, last regular season home game. It's like doing geometry. It's like if geometry and algebra had a baby. You got to host a home game. There's all these things that have to happen. But here's what we know, Coach. You're playing next Wednesday.
Yeah.
In district playoff.
Yeah.
Right?
Not 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the percentage?
It's pretty high that we were in for sure.
All right.
Pretty high.
Okay.
All I know is we play well. We take care of business. We're going to play somewhere.
Okay.
And the message I've given to our team all week is we can control what we can control, and we'll let everything else play out, and we'll go play somebody somewhere. It doesn't really matter, but we just got to make sure that we do a good job tomorrow night, and everything else will figure itself out.
Is there a chance you drive to Ottumwa on Wednesday?
That is not going to happen.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great to hear.
Yes.
And there is a formula called you win and somebody loses and whatever. It's in the sports. And there's a home game maybe.
That's a potential.
Yeah.
I think that there's all things lot of things involved, like point differential, and
Yeah.
I know Ottumwa would have to win over Prairie for that to happen.
Okay.
So that is something I do know. And obviously we would have to win. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of things to factor in, and at the end of the day, we got to play a great game against City High and take care of business, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, but it is exciting. I know a lot of people like to talk about the playoffs, and I have as well. Unfortunately, with our loss last Friday, we don't control our destiny quite as much as we would have.
Sure.
But that's in the past, and you can control what's in front of you, and that's what we're going to try to do this Friday night.
As we wrap up, talk to me about these seniors on this team, because it is senior night tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a really good group of kids. Not the biggest senior class we've ever had, but the kids that have stuck with the program. We ask a lot of our kids. There's no question about it. They sacrifice a lot of time where they're with us and doing things that we were asking them to do, rather than being with their friends or sometimes even with their family or work. And the kids that have stuck it out, really mean a lot to me personally. I have a lot of respect for them. It's really easy, especially the kids who aren't starters.
Sure.
Those kids who don't play on Friday nights as much as they would like to. Those are the kids that you have a lot of respect for all of them, but there's a different level of respect for me for the kids that are out, that aren't starting, that don't get in the game as much as they would like to. But they're at practice every day. They've done everything as just like everybody else in the off season. They've sacrificed time off of work, time away from families, all that stuff just as much as everybody else, and they're not getting rewarded with the playing time. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for those kids. There's a lot of life lessons that they've gotten from it that they won't know for a while.
Right.
But I hope at some point in their life they will recognize that, and they brought a tremendous value to our team and our program. We can't function. We can't be as good of a team as we have been without some of those kids, and they've been tremendous leaders by their actions, and that means a lot to me as far as just what they put into the program. And all of our seniors, we've got 5 senior captains, and Isaiah Smith, Enrique Gary, Mario Madrigal, Clayton Goddard. So those are 4 of the 5 are seniors, and so those 4 have done a tremendous job, leading us, and a lot of great kids in this class that, like I said, have done a tremendous amount of hard work, and from the weight room to speed and agility to some of our off-season competitions to doing a lot of fundraising for us to doing a lot of community service. Not just this year, but last year and the years before.
Sure.
And it's just a lot of time and effort, and it's slowly coming to an end. And hopefully we can extend it a lot longer. But I really, really have a lot of respect for the what our kids do for our program and our team, and that doesn't go unnoticed. I know it can be tough sometimes.
Sure.
It's a tough deal in life when you do all those things. You don't get to see some of the rewards of playing time, but I believe that you get rewarded in other ways, and sometimes they don't see that till later on.
Sure.
And like I said, I just got a lot of respect for our seniors.
It seems like the health of the Muskie football program has gotten better. And each year when you have seniors that can lead, I mean, all that does is make the underclassmen take away so much, so that when they step up, there's really not any step back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really is a tough thing to see kids, go on and whatever. But man, if they can leave a legacy behind, makes your job a little easier.
It does. It does.
Right?
It does, for sure. You're only as good as the leadership on your team.
Yep.
And our seniors have done a really good job of that. It's not the most vocal group I've ever had, but they do a good job of leading by example, and just doing, being where they're supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to do, and treating people the right way. And that's what we ask them to do.
They're a good group of young men. And again, senior night tomorrow, City High. It's a big game. come on out, support the Muskies. All things go well. You have a short turnaround to get ready for Wednesday.
Yeah.
And we'll talk off the air about when it makes sense to come in next week, because we do want to feel good about playing on Wednesday, first playoff game. And then from there, I mean, you really, it's an interesting road, but it's sort of laid out, when the next games would be, but of course, one step at a time. So good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Congrats on the baby.
Thank you as well.
Take a nap?
Yeah, I need one of those here pretty soon.
Oh, such a busy time for this coach and his family and this football family. Holy smokes. Listen to the game on KWPC. If you can't make it out tomorrow night, Brian Musell, Jim Miller will have the call senior night in the last regular season home game. First National Bank Coach's Corner over